Now, Prof, I would like us to go directly to our conversation today without wasting time. We've seen the kind of security issue in Kenya and how it's being handled right now. And I remember at one point you addressed the president and the opposition chief, Raila Amolo Odinga, and you told them to go very kind of slow on security issues. Why did you raise that concern in the first place?
I raised the concern on security because the president had moved in a manner that created the perception of a revenge out to destroy those who stood in their way from the security sector. That would include removing people like IG, the DCI boss Kenoti, arraigning some officers in court in a very hurried way, dealing with extrajudicial killings, the most raw, the most recent involving a foreigner, when these things have been going on over the years. Why not those others? Why this one? What was the issue? Was it because this is an Indian, bad as it may be as a human being? What was it? The perception in the country then was the president seems to have been out on a revenge mission. And this was in the security sector. I thought that was dangerous. But what made it even more dangerous was the fact that now Raila was whipping the card, the emotional card. The moment somebody is under attack or a perceived attack like those people, and you come on their side, to speak on their side, it's like if you find somebody has been wronged somewhere, maybe being fighting, maybe somebody has been meeting, you try to cool them, you see how they begin to sob. Now they go even higher into sobbing and, So I thought Raila was kind of fanning the problem that was. And I said, these two gentlemen, you can play your games because you are politicians, we allow you. But please keep off security sector.
Definitely.
And within that particular time, everybody was saying that insecurity was on the rise, badly so. And again, almost at the same time, I was saying the government itself acknowledged that security was out of control. It was bad. The security minister and all those people. And from that time up to now, we have witnessed wanton destruction of property, life. There's so much insecurity in the country. And if you talk to policemen, as we do, we are Kenyan, they are brothers and sisters, they are our children. We talk to them, they talk to us. They are not happy. That's what I was warning against.
No.
But I'm happy that Raila and Ruto have kind of sort of gone slow. They should not take their fights in the arena of security. Yeah.
Definitely, Prof. Talking about how the government is trying to address the issue of extrajudicial killings, there is this cop, actually, the one who is actually based in Eastleigh, and we saw the other time he was actually arrested and perhaps charged with murder. What we've seen here is that he's been in police custody for some time, and we saw that kind of action actually create some uproar in Eastleigh. Those people are actually saying that it is this cop who's been at the forefront in ensuring that there is security in this kind of area. Can you actually make sure that you release them? And we saw even people demonstrating. Do you think the government is doing enough to protect the citizens, at the same time handle the security or officials in a proper manner?
The security thing is not an easy thing. And the police are doing their best. It doesn't mean that there are no rotten apples. There are rotten apples. And there are a lot of challenges the police face. What I have always advocated for is a government to have a national conversation around security. You see, a national conversation around security. We look at certain things realistically and ask ourselves, do we have sufficient policemen? Do they have sufficient training? Do they have the right background education? Because those are issues you must raise. Where crime has reached, with all these young people with education, with no jobs, high-tech, high-level crime can only be handled by well-trained police officers who, even before joining Kiganjo, have a certain minimum level of education, you see, are paid and taken care of, welfare, those conversations around the forensic labs that we've been talking about very many things involving security. Even the number of policemen and so many. And then we look at what are the challenges? What is the nature of the crime we are now dealing with? So far, If you ask me, we have not given crime, security sufficient attention. No.
Now, talking about giving crime, actually security sufficient attention, as you put it, Prof, we've seen actually a number of insecurity cases rise within the city, the capital city, and of course, the minister, or rather the cabinet secretary in charge of interior, moved quite swiftly to tackle this problem, and we've seen actually some of the those cases have actually sorted down. Now, my other concern is this: we recently, in one of the functions that actually brought together all the officials in the docket of security, actually commemorating those officials, or rather the security personnel who actually paid the ultimate price of defending the people, actually, you know, what actually took place there. And so during these meetings, the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome, actually slammed the IPOA and told them that actually what they are doing, perhaps castigating the police officers who are at their work, rather doing so, because they expected, in fact, according to him, he expected that the IPOA and any other kind of authority, those who are always against the police, or perhaps try to act as people who are against the police, should have been there during that time when they were commemorating those officials who lost their lives. And it appeared as if even he gave out some sort of a shoot-to-kill order, and these are actually brought some sort of uproar in the country. We also saw the Interior CS Cabinet Secretary, that is Kithure Kindiki, Professor. He actually said that the police have to protect themselves. And recently, the Deputy President said that for the police to protect themselves, then they definitely have to protect, for them to protect actually the common man, they have to protect themselves first. Really affirming this aspect of shoot-to-kill order. Prof, what's your view about that order?
No.
And what do you think would be its impact?
That is as nonsensical as the provision in the Constitution on abortion that says, unless life is in danger. You are sneaking in a very stupid thing in the Constitution. Doctors have always, whenever life of a woman is in danger, doctors don't need the Constitution to tell them that. They just do it. That's their oath. So the police, you don't need to tell the police to shoot to protect themselves. That's already there. Any recruit at Kiganjo knows that. So what are they talking about? You make it now look like something crude, something bad. But police are trained to use reasonable force. Police are trained and authorized to use firearms. So what is it they are saying now? For them to say now, they make it look very bad. That's what I'm saying. Is a bit stupid.
Yes, of course.
What are you saying now?
But then, of course,
it's just like I'm saying in the Constitution that abortion is allowed if the life of a woman is in danger. That is a way of sneaking in abortion through using some cheap means. Because doctors always protect life. They don't need your authority to do it. No. So if a woman goes to hospital and her life is in danger, and it's that baby is the cause, the doctor don't need your permission to do it. That's their work. They have taken an oath to protect life. Yeah? To work live, that's their work. A policeman has the training to use reasonable force. Has the training and the authority to use that. Kwani ni rungu amebeba.
And of course,
mwenye amempatia sana jua iko risasi ndani. Why would they give if they were giving you to shoot yourself? They have given you because you'll use it on a criminal.
And the same kind of statement that you're making here is the same one that was made by Japhet Koome, actually.
Why was he making it? Why was he making it?
He was making it saying...
No, what IPOA is dealing with is a different matter. IPOA is dealing with two problems. That the public may have issues against the police. They investigate those issues. That the police officers may have issues against their seniors. That's it. That's the work of IPOA is different. It has nothing to do with the police using the firearm. A police will use firearm in the manner they are trained and authorized. It's not something you come and talk about. No, unless somebody is asking you a question in a press conference, and that journalist must have a very big fool. How can a journalist even ask the IG about whether police can use a firearm or not? So you mean if you open fire on the police, they should just say hallelujah and they die? They have to return. My boys and my boys return fire. The boys have to return fire. I mean, why are they giving? Wanapewa hiyo bunduki kwani ni bakora? Hiyo bunduki iko na risasi. Na polisi amefundishwa kuitumia. Kulinda mali ya wenyewe, kulinda maisha ya wenyewe, kulinda maisha yake. na kumwondoa gaidi ambaye anafikiri ana uwezo wa kucheza na raia na polisi, wanamuondoa na hiyo bunduki. It is there. They don't need anybody's authority. It's already, they have been trained and they know it.
Now, the same reason as well, because when you look at the reasons as to why the easily based cop actually was or is under police custody right now, and of course is supposed to be arraigned in court, it's the same kind of reasons, saying that they, of course he's being accused by IPO of using actually saying excessive force, and Javed Kome was like, really, when you decide to open fire on the police officers, then they should actually open fire back. And then it's like the law also, then definitely you know very well
that can be something, some subject to discussion.
And that is what actually been going
then
on.
Both parties are really playing with Kenyans, and they should go home. None of them should be where they are. If the IG can engage in such a discussion, it should go home. And it's not a discussion what they're engaging in, whether the police can use reasonable force or not, whether the police can use that firearm or not. It's not a discussion. Where is it? Where in the world is it a discussion?
So are you therefore trying to allude to the fact that perhaps the IG, the CS in charge of internal security, yes, and the deputy president are wrong to engage in such kind of conversations?
What are they talking about? That's not something to talk about. No. What from time to time, technology and the new ways of looking at things, ways of dealing with the crime come. What you should be saying, the police should continuously modernize their thinking, their operations, their equipment, their technology. They should modernize. So that we are telling the police, next time, instead of shooting somebody, we have a better way of doing it. That is a conversation. That's a training. That's a refresher. But it can never be a point of discussion whether or not the police should use the firearms where it is necessary. It's not a question of discussion. It does not involve the excesses the police involved in. When the police are involved in excesses, those are criminal activities. Yeah.
Finally, Prof, as we wind up this conversation, how do we harmonize that work between the various security agencies in the country? Because we have got the police, the National Police Service, then we also have the IPOA and every other government body. How do we harmonize their working so that we do not actually realize such kind of confusion that we are realizing right now?
Go back to the Constitution. Why was IPOA formed? Is he doing his work or no? Let APOA do his work. The police have their work, let them do their work. Where is the conflict? I'm not seeing any conflict. If you say the police have used excessive force, you take the uniform and go and work. But if the police engage in using their firearms on innocent Kenyans, that's a different story. Table it, but the two are not the same. No, they are different matters. The police may even use their guns in private enterprises, private criminal enterprise. That happens across the world. That's a different matter. But if the police are doing their duty and in the process they have been forced to use firearms, it's not an issue for discussion.